Well, through no fault of their own, more than 25,000 children and teenagers are currently living in foster care throughout New England. Despite the extreme hardships they've endured, these children desperately want normal experiences that other kids have, like taking part in scouting or playing sports, playing an instrument, or just being part of a nurturing, loving family. Well, joining me today is Casey Family Services Resource Coordinator Maria Knight. Maria, welcome to the show. Great to have you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
That number, Maria, is staggering. We're talking 25,000 kids throughout the New England area. How many are actually here in Connecticut?
Here in Connecticut, there are well over 5,300. 5,378 to be exact.
Why are we finding that number? Is it higher now than it ever has been? Or why are you seeing such an increase if we are seeing one?
I'm not going to say so much as an increase as much as children are languishing in care. And foster care was never intended to be a lifelong living relationship for any child.
Right. How does Casey actually step in and help the kids that are in care?
Partnering with DCF, Casey Family Services, seeks to find permanent families for all kids in care, children that are referred to our agency, which through DCF, we are a therapeutic foster care agency, which means our children have a little higher need for care because of the trauma that they've suffered. So Casey really works very hard with our children and youth and our families that we recruit to help children become the best that they can be in good families.
And what is the range in age? Are we seeing more young kids, or is it just kind of run the gamut, Maria?
It runs the gamut, but again, like I said, the key is that the older the child gets, the longer they stay in care. And that's what we want to stop.
And it's tough.
It's
and you
very
are
hard.
Looking for both foster and adoptive. And what's interesting about Casey is you guys really kind of want people to start with fostering.
Yes.
Why is that so important?
Well, one of the things that's good about having families start with fostering, number one, we are a foster care agency, but also we want to help to build a strong supportive team around our families and our children and youth to be able to help stabilize them and get them moving in the proper direction in a good family with supports. This is not easy. It's work that requires supports. And Casey, with its trained professionals, all of our social workers have MSWs or a master's in some related field, help to do that.
Maria, how are you all going about recruiting families? And when you do, what are some of the things you're looking for? What are your requirements?
Okay. First of all, we truly believe recruitment is everyone's job. All of our staff are involved in recruitment, from our receptionist right on up to our director. We all go out, either hairdressers, grocery stores, churches, anywhere that we have a connection in a community, we definitely go out and spread the word. Even the mailman, which has become an adoptive parent through Casey.
Wow.
And in addition to the state requirements is the specialized training that we give our families, which is called Pride Training. We also do other specialized training in-house, individually, one-on-one, whatever ways that we can help support our families and our kids, that's how we do it.
And if someone's interested, do you have to be a homeowner? Do you have to be married? I'm sure those are ideal situations, but I mean, is there any leeway with that?
Absolutely. We are looking for folks that are committed, willing to commit to children and youth. You don't have to be a homeowner. You can be a renter. You can be single. One of the things we value is diversity, so same-sex couples.
That's good to know.
Oh, absolutely.
That's good to know.
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, it's about making sure we give these kids a loving environment to live in and to be nourished in.
Exactly.
You know, I want to really quickly also mention, you said that volunteers are needed, and if you can't maybe foster or adopt, you're saying you're happy to accept volunteers.
Any way we can do it. Kids need all kind of supports. And it's amazing when we think about how we do our permanency teaming, which I'll talk a little bit about later. In our permanency teaming, a lot of folks that are at the table oftentimes could be volunteers, could be mentors, could be nurses, doctors, people that have come into the lives of the children, and oftentimes we've had our volunteers and mentors also become foster parents.
30 seconds or left. Permanency teaming. Tell us about the permanency aspect of this.
The permanency aspect is that everyone that is important to that child comes together in this teaming process. Social workers, foster parents, birth parents, could be coaches, mentors, anyone that's involved, that the child feels is important to them, as well as who the professionals feel, come together to make plans for the child, both now and planning for a family in the future for this child.
Well said, Maria. Thank you so very much. Folks, if you want information on DCF and Casey Family Services, the information is on your screen, or just come to our website, WTNH.com, click on Connecticut Style. Maria, thank you so very much for sharing. We are just adamant about having you here. We're so happy that you came to share. Thank you so much. And don't be a stranger. We mean that. All right, everybody, we've got much more Connecticut Style coming up right after this. Stick around.